Alrighty, now we're going to look at a formal proof as to why p of 2x, which gives us our transform function, would cause a horizontal shrink. Suppose p of x is the parent graph and f of x is the transformed graph, and suppose b is equal to 2. We want to find a value for x2. Now x2 is going to be our x value for f of x, such that p of x1, p of our original x value, will be equal to our new x value that we plug in for f. We will get the same y values back no matter which x value we plug in. So by substitution, we know that p of 2x is equal to f of x, so p of x2 must be equal to f of x2, so we're just plugging x2 into our definition right here. And then we know that if the inputs are the same for both of these, they will get the same y value back. We'll get the p value, the parent function value that we want back. Going back to the graph, now why is that? It's because going back to this example, we plug in 3, we get 9, right? If we plug in 1.5, we also get 9, and we can see how that horizontal shrink goes. Same y value, but the x value gets cut in half. Okay, so if x1 is equal to 2x2, we will get the same y value back. And so set those equal to each other. And in order to solve for x2, which is what we want to solve for, we want to get the same y value back for that x value, we have to divide by 2, and that in essence is our horizontal shrink when b is equal to 2. The new x value is cut in half from the original x value. So x1 divided by 2, the parent x value divided by 2 gives you the transformed x value. To verify this, we will go back to what we were given, p of 2x equals f of x. For example, let's say p of x is square root of x. P of 2x would be the square root of 2x, which would give us f of x. Or p of x equals x squared. P of 2x would be 2x squared, which would give us f of x. It helps sometimes to explain those abstract concepts. So we're going to replace x with x2, or our second x, or our transformed x value. And then we just showed that our x2 value is going to be equal to x1 over 2, so we're going to substitute that. I don't know why I don't use arrows more often. That's substitution right there. And then look at this. The 2's are going to cancel, and we've just proven that p of x1 is equal to f of x2 as required. Okay, let's take a look and see what this looks like on the chart. Here's p of x equals x squared. Here's our parent function chart. We've gone over that several times already. If f of x is 2x squared, so f of x is equal to p of 2x, we're going to take original x values and divide them by 2. Since this is 2 times x, we want to do the opposite. Just like with horizontal shift, if it's add, you subtract, and vice versa. Take each x value, divide by 2. You get a new set of x values. For example, negative 2 over 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 over 2 is negative 0.5. 0 doesn't change, so on and so forth. And we get to keep the same y values. So now we have our transform function, 2x quantity squared. All we had to do was take those parent x values and dividing by 2, and we're going to be able to keep the same y values. We can see that again on our chart here. We're going to have, starting with negative 1, comma 1. Negative 1, comma 4, and then negative 1/2, comma 2, 0, comma 0, 1/2, comma 2, and 1, comma 4. We've taken the original x values, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, and cut them in half to get the same y values. In general, if you have a parent function with some arbitrary y values, as shown here, all you have to do is take the original x values and divide them by 2 to get your new x values that have been cut in half from the original, and those p values will stay the same, and your final transformed function, p of 2x, for example, sine of 2x, will look something like this. Now we know for trig functions the x values are going to be different. For example, negative pi would be cut in half to become negative pi over 2, and so on and so forth. But in general, f of x equals p of 2x is going to look like this. The original y values of the parent function will stay the same. That's going to be it for this video of explaining the proof of b equals 2 and why that causes a horizontal shrink in half. If you have any other questions about that, let me know.